Moving on to the third chapter, we have basic rules, Peraturan Umum, for both librarians and trainees. So if you are a official librarian, you're going to have a set of unique uniforms that is different from normal students in our school. And if you have that uniform and if you are wearing it, of course you're gonna wear it nicely and tidy. You don't wanna put your shirt out. You don't wanna leave your tie in your bag. You wanna always wear your tie, your name tag, and all of that. And moving on, we talk about that. We put on your tie nicely, you put on your name tag nicely, and you are not allowed to fold your sleeves outside of meetings and gatherings in the hall, especially in the library. It's just like going to work. You have to dress nicely when you're working. And because you are a librarian, your place of work is the library. After that, we encourage our librarians to use only English and Malay. Of course, students always use other languages like Chinese, and that's fine. It's not a big deal. But we do encourage our librarians to use Malay and English. Moving forward, of course, you have to be nice to teachers and you have to use the correct language, the correct tone. You can't be rude to anyone, not just teachers. You can't be rude to any students just because you're a librarian. Because you are a librarian, that is why you have to work. You have to sort of like work for the public, because everything in the library is to help the public, to help the students. So, in a sense, you are serving the students. Commands or instructions from your Ketua Harian, which is your leader, your group leader for the day. For example, they are asking you to rearrange the books at the shelves, then you have to do it. And E, we have a Ketua Harian for each group, for each day of duty, for every group of librarians, sort of. Their job is to give out tasks and to make sure every librarian is doing their job equally. So nobody is slacking off or not doing nothing. So if you are not the group leader, then of course you have to follow their orders. You have to listen to the instruction, because you can't be doing nothing while you are in duty, while you are on duty. And F, you have to join every activities that PSS is making or hosting, such as, for example, we have Gotong Royong and we clean our PSS on that day, and you have to join on that day to contribute your efforts to the PSS. Obviously, there are exceptions where if you can't come, if you can't attend, but we do very, very encourage everyone to come and help out whenever you can. And G, this is the most common one, which is you can't skip class or hall meetings, perhimpunan as they would call. You can't skip those things and hide or stay in the library just because you don't want to be there. You have to stay in class, you have to go to the hall meetings, and if you are caught, of course, we are not responsible, and the library is not your safe place. You are going to be punished by the school, and that is not our responsibility. As for H, every single librarian, including trainee, is required to select a day out of a week to go on duty to take care of the library and do their task. As of right now in COVID, we've had experience where we only select 2 days out of a month to do our duty, to go on duty. But normally we would select 4 days out of 4 weeks, basically in a month, to go on our duty. So time and schedule may differentiate and they may differ. And if you are a librarian, you're going to have days where you come on duty, you take care of the library, you arrange the books, you wrap new books, and so on. If you are absent on your duty day, you have to pick a day in a week to ganti balik. And to ganti balik is sort of like to fill in back the missing day that you didn't came. You have to go back and do all the things that you should have done to give back your contributions and all that. And of course, you have to send in a letter to your group leader or Ketua Unit Sosial, which is the person who is in charge of the people that are absent. And J, don't do anything bad, which is just don't break any school rules. And I'm sure you know what the school rules are, so I don't have to elaborate what the basic school rules are. And K, you can't steal anything, including tools, that are in the library. Even though you are a librarian, everything in the library has to stay there. You can't steal it just because you are a librarian. I, you can't bring or put things inside the library, such as your water bottle, such as your phone, and so on. We also do not allow you or anyone to put their bags in the library except for librarians. So in a sense, you are sort of permitted. You are allowed to put your bags, your water bottles, and so on in the library, but in a designated spot in the corner of the library. There is a spot where librarians only can put their things. And M, of course, we don't allow people to bring their water bottles and bags and so on. It's because we don't allow people to eat and drink in the library. So it's just not the library, it's the PSS. So that includes the APD room, the second part, the other part of the library. So you can't eat or drink in there because you might spill and damage the books. And if you are on duty, you are allowed for a 20-minute break. So during this break time, you can go to eat, you can go to the toilet, you can do your homework during your break. But before you go on a break, you have to let your group leader know that you are going to a break. And you are only permitted one break time, that is 20 minutes per duty time. So you can't say that you want to take a break for 40 minutes. And you're not going to take any breaks tomorrow. You can only take one, and that is only 20 for the day that you are on duty. And if you would like to skip your break, that is accepted, that is acceptable. And the other thing is that you cannot split your break time into 5 minutes or like 10 minutes and get another 10 minutes after that. You can only do it 20 minutes for one time, and that is it. Though you can choose when you would like to take a break. So for an example, if you choose to have your break near the end of your shift so you can go back home 20 minutes early, that is acceptable. And like I said, if you are on duty, you can do homework, relevant work. That is what we call kerja PSS, which is rearranging books and chopping the newspaper, the books, and so on. So P, because we are librarians, we serve the public, we serve the students, the teachers, which is sort of like the public, and we have to make sure that they get what they need. If they need a place to study, then that's what we do. We provide a place to study for them. So we have to make sure that the place of study is quiet, is clean, and they get the books that they need. We help them find the books that they need. We have to get rid of the students who are being loud, who are bothering other students, and we have to pick up rubbish around the floor to make sure that the whole place is clean. And Q, every librarians are not allowed to let any students or anyone into the storeroom. So in our library section, we have a storeroom behind the counter that is usually locked. But if it's not locked, nobody is permitted to go inside, as there are a lot of supplies that students can try to steal and use it. So under no circumstances that we can go in without the permission or the acknowledgement of a teacher. If a librarian who is on duty for the day comes in late for 15 minutes or even later, they are considered late. They have to let their group leader know and give an explanation of why they are late. So maybe it was traffic, then you have to let them know why you are late because of the traffic. And of course you have to be written down as you came late for the duty, because it doesn't count if you just came for your duty time but you only did things for 5 minutes. It doesn't count like that. And lastly, S, everything that you do, such as your duty time, if you came late, if you broke any rules, all of those things will be recorded in terms of points and merit. We call it merit system. So it's kind of like your reputation score. We would deduct or add scores depending on your behavior. Of course, it's not up to the students, it's up to the teacher who is in charge of this. So do your best and you will get high reputation score, or as we'll call it, high merit scores. And that's it for the third chapter. I'll see you in the next one.